What is Agentforce? Agentforce is a new platform developed by Salesforce that allows businesses to create and deploy intelligent and autonomous AI agents. These agents are AI assistant which can answer various questions and can perform multiple tasks on its own. With the advent of AI, all the organizations are trying to utilize AI to optimize the business operations, and Agentforce helps on CRM platform to bring these AI agents to solve business needs, be it for sales cloud, service cloud, marketing cloud, etc. These agents works alongside human employees to enhance customer experience and streamline business operation. So Salesforce is providing various out-of-the-box agents for sales, services, marketing, which we can just turn on and start using on these clouds. But customers can extend these agents or build a new agent as per the business needs, which means as per the business use case, we can customize and add more capabilities to these AI agents so that it can solve the task specific to the organization. Now doing that will be the task of all the admins and developers of that particular org who knows the business very well and can talk to the business user to understand where AI agent can be leveraged. The Agentforce platform will also provide the ability to partners to build and deploy agents and agent actions through App Exchange, which customers can add in their org. So which means that just like we are able to install App Exchange apps instead of building the customization ourselves, similarly, partners will build the AI agents or actions for these agents that can be directly used by customers instead of building themselves. So in simple words, Agentforce is the platform for Salesforce, customers, partners, admins and developers to build, test and deploy these AI agents. Now let's understand what these agents are. So agents are AI assistant who can perform tasks, make decisions and interact with the customers or internal system autonomously. We know that after the advent of Gen AI, there are various assistants available. For example, ChatGPT is one of them, which many people are utilizing to solve their daily needs. Similarly, GitHub Copilot is being used by programmers to help them write code. So similar to that, agents are AI assistant for Salesforce CRM. These AI agents understand and process information, communicate naturally with the users, and take actions to perform specific tasks. It uses Salesforce Atlas reasoning engine to understand the intent of the question, follow all the instructions defined for that particular task, find the appropriate action, and then perform the task as requested by the user. So we can have these agents for internal Salesforce employees that can be accessed from anywhere within Salesforce org. So it's kind of a global action which is available on different apps, for example, sales, service, or any of the tabs. You may be on the account tab, you may be on the opportunity tab, or even if you are on a dashboard report or file, this global action is accessible. So you can just toggle it and you can ask different questions. It acts as an assistant to the Salesforce sales or service reps to help them be efficient in their day-to-day work. If you have been following Salesforce recent development, then this is nothing but the Einstein Copilot, which is now known as Agent for Salesforce users. Similarly, we can have other AI agents which are deployed to the customer community or website, which can help answering questions to the users. So we can say that it is kind of a replacement for the chatbots that we used to deploy on website or portal. Similarly, you can have agent for sales and marketing as well. Here I have added one example for the customer service agent. The scenario is a customer wants to return a pair of shoes purchased online. The AI agent will assist the customer by accessing their purchase history, initiating the return process, and providing instruction for shipping. All of this without needing a human rep. So the AI agent will be able to perform this task by validating the customer detail, understanding the purchase history, and then finally performing the task as instructed for this particular agent. Now before we discuss more theory part around agents, I think it would be easy to understand what it does through a demo. So let me just show you the demo of two agents. The first one is deployed on Salesforce internal platform, which helps the Salesforce user in their day-to-day work, and the second agent is deployed on the community site, which helps in answering and performing various jobs for the end users without needing any service agent, which means it can work 24/7 on the website and handle multiple queries. So here I have an agent deployed on the Salesforce platform. So you see this is the agent. Previously it was known as Einstein Copilot, and now we are calling it as agent for Salesforce. Similarly, this org also have a customer facing website, which is this one. And on this customer community side, we also have one agent deployed. So now let's see both of these agent in action. Here, if you remember the point where I mentioned that the Salesforce agent is available throughout the org, which means that I'm on this app or I'm on any of the tab, this agent is available because it is a global action. So I'm currently on the home page and I can access this agent by clicking on this toggle button. I could be on accounts tabs. I can still access this agent. I could be on reports, file, or anywhere, and I can just access this agent. So let me go back to home, and now to access this agent as a sales rep or a service rep, I just need to click on this Einstein icon. Hi everyone. Before we dive into the demo of this agent, I have a very quick update to share. Recently, Salesforce has renamed the Einstein Copilot agent to Agentforce agent. So in your latest org, you will no longer see Einstein Copilot when you click on this icon. Instead, it will now appear as Agentforce agent. Other than the name change, there are no functional differences with this agent. Salesforce is renaming all these features to maintain consistency under the Agentforce branding. So there is nothing new here apart from the name change. Whatever I demonstrate for Einstein Copilot agent applies exactly the same to Agentforce agent as well. So now let's continue with our demo. So now let's give some prompts to this agent and see how it can help us answer a few of the questions that the sales rep or the service rep usually have. So the first prompt I'm giving is, tell me the count of opportunity records. So I just want to know how many opportunities are there in this org, and let's see if this agent is able to answer this query. Right, so you see the response, it is saying that I counted the total number of opportunity record and there are 31. So how is this agent able to solve this query? To do that, it is utilizing something called as actions, and we have very detailed videos on these actions, but for now I can just give you the glimpse. So here you see that when you enable Einstein AI, you get some standard Salesforce action. So here these are those standard action. Now to solve the current query, the agent would have utilized this action, which is query record with aggregate. So it would have used the aggregate query to find out how many opportunities are there in this org. Similarly, we have various standard action here. So for example, identify record by name, identify object by name. So let me give one more prompt to see this standard action in action. So I'm going to go back to my agent and I'm going to say that find the record S-Force. Now here I'm not specifying whether S-Force is an account, lead or opportunity. I'm just saying that find the record S-Force, and here it utilized one of the standard action, that is find the record by name. So it used the name to find out that record that S-Force is an account. And now if I want to access this account, I can just click on this hyperlink and it will open that. So let's go back to the home and let me show you one more example. So I'm going to say that, can you summarize this record? So here what I'm trying to show is that the agent is aware of the context. It knows that it has just given us the detail about a S-Force account. And when I ask it to summarize the record, then it knew that I'm talking about the S-Force account. I never mentioned which record to summarize, but the moment I said, can you summarize this record? It understood that I'm talking about the S-Force account, and here it summarized that account. So as a sales rep, I do not have to go to the account. I can just ask the agent and it will summarize what are the product this account has, what are the opportunities, what are the open cases this account have. So again, this is one of the standard action which comes with the Einstein AI. Now let's see one more example. I'm going to say that find the lead named Bartha Boxer. It is able to find a lead called Bartha Boxer. And let me give one more prompt to show one more standard action, which is generate a sales email. So I'm saying that draft an email for this lead for scheduling a meeting next Monday. So here you can see that agent is able to generate this email, which looks good. The user should go through this email, make some changes as per their need, and they should be able to send this email right away. So we can see that this agent is able to perform some of the daily tasks that the sales rep or the service rep of this organization will have. But all of these are standard actions. Now, based on the requirement of this org, the org can customize this agent to build more and more action specific to their needs. But all of these actions are available for every Salesforce org, and they're kind of generic actions. Now let's see the second agent. So if I go to this community side, this community side have deployed one agent which will help the end user to answer their queries. So let me just open up this agent. So when you click on that, the agent will open up, and the agent name is Coral Cloud Agent. So for this virtual company, this is the agent that it has. Now as an end user, I'm going to ask a question to this agent, and my question is, what is the status of order 100? So there is a soft drink order in this org whose order number is 100, and I would like to know what is the current status of that soft drink order. And the agent is telling me the status of the order 100 is open. So if I show you the order, so this is the soft drink order. The order number is 100 and the status is open. So let me just change it to, let's say, dispatch. And now maybe the end user would like to know what is the current status. So they can come to this community website and they can just ask this agent, what is the current status? So here you see that it is telling the current status of this order is dispatch. So now with this service agent, this organization will be able to handle these queries 24/7 as this agent is always active. So let me give one more prompt, and I'm just saying that it's a very random action, which is like, what is the city for this zip code 90210. This is one of the custom action that I have built in this org, where internal Salesforce employees as well as the external users can find out what is the city name for a particular zip code. So when they give the prompt 90210, it tell what is the city name. So here we can see that these agents are able to help the internal Salesforce employee as well as external end users. So we saw two different type of agents that we can build, and similarly we can build agents for different cloud as well. Apart from these two agents for which I just given you a demo, very recently Salesforce has announced general availability of data trigger agents in the TDX. So these data trigger agents are kind of autonomous agents which gets executed whenever there is any change in the data. These agents are little different than conversation based agent. The conversation based agents takes action whenever a user asks it to perform a task, whereas these data trigger agents runs when a change in the data happens. Data trigger agent could be very powerful in terms of truly making agent autonomous, because there can be various activities or data analysis which you want your agent to perform in the backend without requiring any human to tell it to do some work. So in this org, I have configured an agent which runs automatically as a new case is created in the org. And the job of this agent is to, for each case which is created, so it will look for a field called issue type. And now based on the issue type, this agent will assign the case to the correct queue and will also update the priority as well. Now to decide which queue and what priority to assign to a case, the agent will use this PDF document which I have uploaded in Agentforce data library. We will be covering Agentforce data library in detail in our upcoming lectures, but Agentforce data library allows agent to have access to unstructured data such as PDF data, text data, audio transcript data, which is stored in the data cloud. So again, we will see all of this in detail, that is how to configure agent to work with data cloud data in our upcoming sections. But in this org, I have done all of that already, and the agent which gets executed when a case is created does have access to this PDF document which is stored in data cloud. Now in this PDF document, this is a very simple PDF with just one page. I have a table created here which is defining the mapping of issue type to the queue and the priority. So if the issue type of a case is login issue, this table will tell what is the queue where this case should be assigned and what should be the priority. Similarly, if the issue type is delivery issue, the queue should be delivery issue queue. So in my org, I have two queue created, login issue and delivery issue. So based on delivery issue type, it will assign the case to this queue and the priority will be medium. Similarly, you can have all of your mapping stored here and not just these two fields. If you want, all of your case fields can be configured here, and now your agent knows that based on the issue type, what should be the value of different field. So based on the issue type, this should be the case owner, and this should be the priority. But if you want, you can add other fields as well. And now your agent will be able to make those changes in the backend as the case gets created. Now to see the demo of this data trigger agent, I just need to create a case record. So let me just create a case record. I will choose the case origin and I will choose the issue type as login issue. I will not fill other fields as this is the field that our agent will look into right now. So let me just click on save. Now, although I mentioned that the data trigger agent will get executed as the data changes, but it will not run immediately. Rather, it will run after a minute. And the reason why this is needed, I will explain when we learn about the data trigger agent in our next section. So this agent will run after 1 minute. So this path will run and this agent will get executed. So I need to wait for this path to execute. Yes, the path is executed. So let me go back and refresh here. And here you will see that the owner of the case has changed to login issue. The priority is set to high. And the reason for that is if you see the issue type of this case, it was login issue. And in our PDF document, we have mentioned that for login issue, the queue should be login issue. The owner of the case should be login issue and the priority should be high. And that's the reason that you see that the new owner is login issue and the priority is high. And if you see here, the case was updated by this agent. So this is basically a user that I have configured as my agent. So the agent runs in a user context. So that is why we see that this case was updated by this user. So basically this is a data trigger agent. Whenever there is a change happens to any record, these agents will run. It can look into the data. So you see that it was able to look into this data. What is the issue type? And based on that issue type, it was able to read this PDF document, or it was able to ask question to this PDF that for login issue, what should be the queue developer name? And then it got the queue developer name as login issue and priority as high, and that's what it has updated. So this is data trigger agent, and again we will learn about it in our upcoming section. So I hope this demo would have helped you understand what an agent can do. Again, as we will build more complex actions, we will see how powerful these agents can become. So let's go back to the slides and learn few more things about agents. So what agent does? It can do a lot of tasks automatically, like writing emails, summarizing works. So these are different standard actions which comes with agent. You can ask it to summarize a record. You can ask it to create an email based on the different action. So these examples are based on the actions that we saw on the Salesforce platform agent, but these agents can be deployed on multiple channels, as we can have an agent for internal employee to help users in daily tasks, an agent for customer services deployed on community side, agents for WhatsApp chat, agents for attending calls, etc. How it is different? Now we might say that it is very similar to the chatbots that we used to create previously. For example, Einstein chatbot is there, or any chatbot that a website offers. But it is different to these chatbots because bots are kind of a script. If we understand how bots are written, they are different if statements or branches, where we say that if a user has asked a specific question, you follow this path and answer the questions. But agents utilizes Gen AI and Salesforce internal Atlas reasoning to do more complicated tasks, and it is very flexible to decide. So it can understand the intent of the question and can take decision. It is built to understand complex instructions and carry out multiple tasks by itself. Actions. The working behind the scene of these agents is because of something called as topics, instructions, and actions. The actions are of two types, standard and custom actions. The moment you enable the agent, it comes up with many built-in tasks it can do right away. They are called standard action. Like as I said, summarize a record, drafting an email, finding a customer record. Now these are the standard actions, which mean that these are given by Salesforce. But every org is special and every org has special needs which Salesforce standard actions may not be able to solve. That is where developers like us and admin like us comes, and they solve this problem through a custom actions. So you can customize these agents to do special tasks specific to your business needs, and they are called custom action. And these actions are usually created through Apex, Flow, and Prompt template. These things we will discuss in detail in our upcoming videos. Trust and security. Now here comes the most important point. Whenever we talk about GenAI, the safety and security is the biggest aspect. Many companies are struggling to deal with how do they protect the data when feeding it into the large language model. So to solve this problem, Salesforce comes up with Einstein Trust Layer, and we have a specific video to understand how Einstein Trust Layer works. But primarily it ensures that any data flowing out of CRM and coming back to CRM is always protected and does not contain any bad data. Agent also makes sure that only authorized user can see the sensitive data, respect user permission. So when we are talking to these agent, it runs in the user context. So whatever the permission that the user has, the agent also has the very similar permission. It uses special architecture defined to keep data secure and private, following Salesforce high standard for trust and safety, and that is nothing but Einstein Trust Layer. So here I have added few key features of agents as well. AI agents handles routine or repetitive tasks, allowing employees to focus on more strategic and creative work. AI agents use data to provide customized experience for each customer, and that is called grounding, and we will see this in our upcoming videos. AI agents can autonomously perform actions like answering customers' inquiry, processing orders, or scheduling appointments. Business can easily build and deploy AI agents using tools like Agent Builder. So Agent Builder is where we customize these agents or create a new agent. Agentforce includes safeguards to ensure AI agents operate responsibly and protect customer data.